we're ready. Okay, so hi, my name is Buddy Thayer, and this is Three Dudes Brews. This is a journey into the local craft beer enjoyment and an exploration into deliciousness. I'm joined today by myself and two other dudes.
I'm Cautious and Brutally, and this is Ed Panon. How you doing? And we are here at the lovely, awesome, epic, I can't say enough good things about it, Crooked Current Brewery. We're here with Nicole. We are located at the 560 Mineral Spring Ave in North Providence, so make sure you come out. And again, we're here with Nicole. She is the goddess, the beer goddess, the brewer, the head brewer, owner, operator, and all around lovely person.
Thank you so much. I can't believe I'm your first guest. So go easy on me.
We start off the smallest, but biggest. Like I said, I think I've yet to have a bad beer.
Well, so let me challenge you. Let's go. Let's start drinking then.
That's it. Okay, so it's off, right?
All right, you have 4 beers in front of you to sample today while we're chatting.
It's a blind sip. It's a blind sip.
Yeah,
it is.
It's very true.
We thought it would. Yeah, we thought it might be fun to do. I mean, it's not the most challenging of the lineup today. I think it's going to be pretty. I think you guys are all going to get 100. You're going to score 100. I'm pretty sure of that. So the 4 beers we have, starting. Right, we're going to start this way, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
We don't know the order.
Don't know what's what. I know what's what. But these guys, I mean, I should know. I brewed it, right? So we're going to start. The 4 options we have our peach and apricot pale ale with jalapeno in there. We have our traditional peach and apricot pale ale with no jalapeno as well. You're also going to sample the mango smash pale ale, which is smash is actually an acronym for single malt and single hop. The hop used is Citra. The coconut Hefeweizen, right? You guys are tasting that today too. So no, and not in that particular order, but let's see if we can guess what's what. Starting with number 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, I can't wait any longer.
No, cheers.
Cheers. Shalom.
Cheers.
Happy Hanukkah and Christmas.
Well, hi.
Yeah, all that. 4th of July and Memorial Day, we'll get them all.
Memorial Day's coming up, actually.
Well, yeah, I think I know this one.
I got it.
All right. How many seconds should we give them?
My God, I think they've had enough time. They've had enough time.
Yeah, I think you know what it is.
All right.
What do you guys say?
Peach and apple.
It's apricot without the L.
Apricot. Okay, we're not going to score this until the end. I mean, obviously, because if we score it now and I say if you're right or wrong, that's going to totally defeat this whole thing.
Peach and apricot with the jalapenos.
No.
You're tasting jalapeno in this. In number 1, you're saying.
All right. Well, until I'm undecided until I try.
Okay, so but you're sure it's peach and apricot, just not sure if it's full of jalapeno.
Right.
Is what you're saying. Okay, interesting. This is very interesting.
Like
and this is beautiful because it's raw and unfiltered, just like my beer.
We have off-screen personnel that keep track of our scores and our tastings, and if we're right or wrong, we will find out at the end.
It's great. I love it.
It's going to be interesting.
All right. Here's go. 2.
Number 2.
Cheers.
Yeah, he's looking up your old address. Pardon my age.
Both.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I'm going to go first because I already know it. I'm going to give my cohorts here a second. Do you know a second? Because I want to start,
I think I know what it is.
Of those 4, you think you know what it is?
Yeah, I think I know what I did.
Okay.
Coconut.
I think the coconut.
All right. Everybody's going with
I can tell that.
Final answer?
Coconut.
Okay.
Go up.
All right.
And let's go.
And believe me, no beer will go left unfinished.
Oh, no.
Right.
See, we're going to hype up the curiosity here. You got to see.
Again, pardon my 40 ounce reach.
On your test here.
Yeah. Oh, that's delightful. That's
mango.
That's definitely the mango. Oh my God.
Mango, and I'm going for another because
Final answers on that.
that's me.
Mango for sure.
Oh yeah, mango smash. Mango smash.
Okay.
That's like all day, all summer. delight.
All right, and 4.
And there was a down.
And again, boarding house read part of it. And keep going right across her face. Okay.
No.
Okay, so this is that. Obviously, this is going to be the jalapeno. Initially, when I put it in my mouth, I didn't taste jalapeno, but after I swallowed it, even on my tongue, yeah,
You get that nice little creep. Yeah. So the first one,
but now I can eat.
it's not a bad creep. It's no teaching out. Hey, it's just please. Let my
Okay.
kids alone. That's not a big thing.
It's definitely
This is so we ran out of this yesterday, but I saved a little bit in a growler because I wanted to let you guys try as many things as possible. Ironically enough, for a place. Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Me too. I did a little TikTok.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You're talking about it.
Oh, I love it.
It's just fantastic.
Okay.
Such a so unique of a flavor to go with beer. It's
Now that we have a little bit of beer out of it, we're going to keep going as we do this here. So feel free to keep drinking.
Shall we tabulate the score?
let's do it.
Let's see how
Let's
you
do it.
did.
Let's
So, yeah.
Okay. Number 1, you guys said was the peach and apricot pale ale.
Yeah, it's.
Answer was mango. It was a mango smash.
What?
Oh shit.
So essentially, 1 and 3, you guys flip flopped,
Reflect.
but everything else. So you know what I mean. So the peach and apricot and the mango. I mean, I think if you had known.
You were completely wrong. You said something about jalapeno in the first one.
No, I reserved.
Did you reserve? Okay.
Well, he did.
All
I
right.
said that. I said, all right, fair enough. We can't be too strict over.
So I thought I smelled the avocados in this. So now
You said it and corrected me.
Exactly.
I'm picking up the peach now.
I'm done.
And these are the nuances, you know.
That's just
because they're both on a pale ale based, you know. So it's not like one's an IPA. You can't even really distinct it from that. So I mean, in all honesty, I think if anything, this really just speaks to the, the subjectivity of everybody's taste buds, and especially based on whatever background knowledge, like technical background knowledge you may or may not have. Which, yes, lots of people have dabbled in home brewing, but at the same time, are they really able to discern the differences, say, if I may stretch, between the Citra hop and the Mosaic hop? I mean, generally not. You know what I'm saying? Generally not. And that's okay. They're delicious. That's really all that matters, I think, at the end of the day, is do they like it? But, so, I mean, yes, technically speaking, they may be different ingredients, different beers. Yeah, but you like peach and apricot, you like mango, you flip-flopped them. We did it totally blindly. It perfectly proved kind of a little experiment in general, like a thought experiment on when people, rate beers and things like that, and taste it's subjective. Yeah, it's totally subjective.
So, with everybody's taste being subjective, everybody likes different styles. What influences your beer choices? What makes you say, okay, right now we're going to go with the mango smash? So, what's influencing your choices as you go about this?
I love that question, especially with these particular beers, because they're two very interesting answers, I think. So the mango is a smash beer, and a smash beer is a concept. A lot of home brewers, myself included, when I started, you want to experiment with different ingredients. So a great, tactic for doing that is, narrowing down your ingredients. So you only have, this hop and this grain. That's what a single malt and single hop beer is. So you can truly examine, a lot easier than if you start adding in, a little crystal or mixing hop varieties or something. Now you get more complexity. You can't discern them, like we were just discussing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the concept of a smash beer. I brewed it, and then I tasted it, and it was delicious. And I was like, I feel like this would be really delicious with like some mango or something delicious fruit. So when I brewed this for the first time, I kegged half the batch and I threw some mango on the other half. So generally speaking, that's how that one came to be. That's how that one inspired me. The coconut Hefeweizen, that is a beer that I was inspired by on my honeymoon. So my husband and I went to Hawaii, and First stop, check in, hotel. Second stop, walk down, put your feet in the water at the beach. Third stop, hit the convenience store to stock the fridge on stuff for your getting ready and whatever on your way out the door kind of stuff. So went into a little ABC store and saw one. Obviously had to get it. I was like, what? That combination of flavors sounds insane. I've never tried that. That is really cool. And I tasted it and I was like, oh, okay, it's good. But I don't really get a lot. There's no coconut. There might be coconut in it, but I'm not tasting it. I really got this because I really wanted to taste the coconut. You know what I mean? So I was like, well, I'll just have to brew it myself.
You know, that's one of the things that kind of gets me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm glad you like it. So this just reminds me of like the honeymoon and everything. When I drank it, I love it.
You pick up both very distinctly. It's one of those things where, you know, like you mentioned, you get these places, they say, oh, we're going to do a coconut. We're going to do a mango. We're going to do an apple pie, whatever, stout. And it's like, okay, great. And then you get it, you open it up, and this is from those big box breweries. You know who you are. You open it up, and you can't taste it. You can't taste the flavor. Well, we're advertising this as apple. And it's like, wait. So, again, this is fantastic. You get the coconut right in front. You can tell it's a Hefeweizen from the yeast that's being used. You can taste that in the background. It's fantastic.
Thank you very, very much.
So let me ask you, when you're making these beers, these particular flavors, is this coming from the hop? Is this coming from, are you actually putting fruit into the beer? Is it,
yeah. Yep. The actual ingredient. In a lot of cases, I mean, you are using far less than you would think in something like Citra Smash Pale Ale, because Citra does lend certain flavors that are accentuated by when you start adding fruit. So, you know, you don't necessarily need to use a heavy handle all the time in certain cases. You know, so hops do play a role for sure, I guess is my point. But in these cases, yeah, that you use like, you know, the ingredients, adding fruit, adding whatever. Also, because stylistically, to your point about being a little like disappointed sometimes when you go to drink something that says it's got XYZ in it, but you don't taste it, right? So my approach, my style, I guess, is I want it to be purely, unquestionably evident without being overwhelming. And so that's my goal when I'm creating any of my beers. But I'm not filtering anything. You know, I feel personally that filtration is I'm not really distributing my beers. So I don't need it to be like shelf stable. You know, I'm explaining to people who come in and purchase, if they haven't before, you want to keep these cold. They could, there's going to be some residual yeast potentially. Nothing here is filtered, but I think that is the reason why people who come in and drink these beers say, wow, you really get X, Y, or Z.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's, it's very bright and it's very evident, but not overwhelmingly so.
I think it's raw. I think it's natural. I think it's organic. It's not just art on the label. And wow, this can has got this fantastic label. What's in the can doesn't represent, what's actually described. And I think that what you're putting out is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
So
None of us have ever had.
yeah. Oh, not at all. Never here. So now that's my next question. So somebody comes here and they taste the draft beer and it's fresh and it's delicious and you can hit every flavor. And then you want to get a can to go home. How long is a can of beer going to last in my fridge and retain the same flavor?
Okay, well, the qualifying statement at the end there is going to change the answer. So, qualifying statement at the end being, and not change the flavor. My customers, I tell them, drink it within the 4 weeks max. Like, don't let it go beyond that.
Yeah.
So it's just, well, here's the thing. I mean, there is alcohol in this beer, all right? And alcohol is going to eat away at whatever particulates that didn't get filtered that were added. It's going to degrade those over time. It's just, so it's not going to make you sick, but it's not going to taste as good as, when you first purchased it. So my customers, I'm like, please get to this within the month. Sometimes people forget, it goes in their fridge. With that said, I will say that I do have certain customers who purposely hide my beer in their fridge, and then they come and bring it in 3 years later or something like that. No, but they do. It's fun. It's actually fun to expect. Like, and what I always do is I always say, well, thanks for aging my beer. Here's one to replace it. Let's open it in 3 more years or whatever, you know? So I don't want them to feel like they're like wasting their money, because certainly, you know, everybody works hard for their money, but it's just a fun experiment. Now, with that said, they're not doing that with something like this. They would probably do something like the Mexican hot chocolate or the eggnog milk stout. So I tried. People brought in 3-year-old eggnog milk stout from 3 Christmases. You know, we pop it open just for fun. You know, a crowler that they've been saving in their fridge. And they must have an extra fridge because our cans are not full. The 32-ounce crowlers. Well, it's 2.5 beers. That's what I say. It really is. It's 2.5 beers.
You know,
Think about it.
The perfect amount, because if you pour one out, you're going to drink it. You're going to want another. So, hey, it's
You can have a
already
piece.
there. Pour it again. But, you know, and it's kudos to your customers who are able to keep it that long in their fridge, because personally, if I get it, I take it home. It's going to last a day or 2 tops. It's going to get done. No, I can't.
Nowadays,
That's what I'm saying. I see it sitting there in the fridge, and I'm going to be going, when do I open here? Oh, it's 3 o'clock. It's 5 o'clock. It's Friday. I don't care.
It's 11:35 right now. Cheers.
So, cheers to that. If you're ever looking for an excuse to work early in the morning, get on a podcast.
Own a brewery.
Pour it on your Rice Krispies. Not endorsed, but, you know, hey.
so how did you get started in the Grand Tree?
Well, that is the home brewing is where we started, my husband and I. And it was quite a while ago, so there was no real formal training.
But this year is your
especially in Durham. Yeah.
Wow.
10.
That's incredible.
How? I don't choose these 10 years went by. Thank you so much. Oh my God. You need another beer.
I need another
Where's that growler of the jalapeno? Is it still over there? We gotta get him another.
So that's cheers.
Oh, I also put it away.
Cheers to 10 years.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're one of the OGs in the Rhode Island beer craft beer community.
That is true-ish. In the resurgent or the resurgence, I guess, more so than anything. You know, I would say the OGs are more like, you know, you have I'll always refer to back to no, but they were the resurgence.
But
Yeah, Dave and I started the same year, 2014.
yeah, right. It's Parker.
So if I don't consider myself, that's why I say no. I say Newport store.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
I'd go
Now
back and saying St. Albans.
Well, it's a profit. So
I guess I'm just talking Rhode Island. Like, sure. But no, you have
it wouldn't
really
profit.
the OGs. I would say is Revival, Newport Storm, Gray Sail.
Yeah.
Whalers, perhaps?
No, they started. I believe. I almost want to say. I think they started. Just before us. Just before us. They were just before us. Yeah. Hold on. I don't want to speak out of turn here. Okay,
All hopefully coming soon. That's
Revival, Gray Sail.
Trinity.
Oh, Trinity Brew Pub. Yeah. Okay. And Union Station.
Yeah.
And Gray Sail. And who am I? Oh God, you're gonna have to cut all of this out. This is terrible.
I couldn't anything.
Listen to me. I'm a lightweight, okay? And it's 11:37.
Right.
Forgive me. My brain is not. I'm a Red Bull. I still have to chug.
There are a few that have to pick me up.
Foolproof too. I would say you said foolproof. Right? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Bucket Brewing. You know, there's a few that have come up.
They were right before us as well. Yeah. So those are. I really wish that I thought about it too. I thought about bringing in. I have this. It's the cover of Motif magazine that they did. I believe it was like 2015, and it was a hand-drawn sketch of all the brewers of all the breweries open at the time. And so you see all these old faces, some of whom are no longer with us on that cover. And it is a blast from the past, but it was 10 years. So it's just going off what you said, how we're 2014 when we opened. Who were the OGs? And 10 years ago when we started, who was there?
Mm.
you know? And so I was just speaking to that, I suppose. And I cannot tell you, the world was bizarre. It's only 10 years, but the world was so different. Let alone now, if you scale it down to the brewing industry in Rhode Island and how much has changed and how different it's completely different now than when we opened.
Right.
So I can only imagine what the OGs think about the difference, because it's like even more, you know, experience that they had, like looking at the world today too. And it's just, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
You are the OG lady to craft beer.
I don't know. I think maybe, I don't even know though. I don't know. I think
Well, you have the smallest brewery in the state of Rhode Island and the highest rated Yelp reviews in this particular area, 4.8, with at least a minimum of 50 reviews. So I think that's saying something. That's
Yeah,
so it's saying
I think he
smallest
does.
brewery with the highest ratings, and I think you should be very proud of the work that you're doing there.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
And everybody's spreading the good gospel of Crooked Current. I know I just brought in somebody new the last time I was in here, and I keep trying to get more and more folks down here. I mean, drink local, folks. Drink local. I mean, if you can go from your house to the source, get it, drink it. It doesn't get any better than that. It really doesn't.
And if you haven't been here, it's an adult playground. You have White Dog Distilling. You have Crooked Current, Ming's Wings. You got a Diamond's Pie. It is an adult playground that you have to visit at least.
If you like food and you like drinks, you should come here.
Use it, fill it up.
So,
Right off of 95, easy to find,
That's what I said.
plenty of parking. Maybe that's not at this time of day, but you know, yeah, plenty of parking.
No, but there really is. I mean, that's true comparatively to some other places. It's way tougher than this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, right?
All right. So now, favorite styles. Ready? Don't think about it. I just want to hear it. Go. Favorite style.
my three favorite styles would be sour, stouts, and something along the lines of the Hefeweizen. That's all.
All right, buddy.
Double IPA all day, man. Number one, stouts would be second, and sours for sure. Third.
Nicole, right? Right?
Interesting.
Appreciate.
No, you go next. I'll go
Oh,
last.
you got to put me up.
No,
Okay.
I like that.
All right,
Yeah.
so sours. If you put a sour in front of me, I don't care. It's all day, every day. It's going down. So, and you know, summertime's coming up. You get the warm weather. Anything light, refreshing, lagers, ales. But sours, I'm a sour freak. I would drink any sour. I don't care what you put in. It could be like 50 pounds of habaneros in your sour. I'm going to drink it anyway. So.
Now, when you guys don't say sours, and I will answer this question, I will, but I want to ask, okay? Because sours is kind of all encompassing. If you were challenged to now refine that answer just to one degree, I would ask you, are we talking wild ales and wild yeast? Are we talking kettle sours
Kettle
on the sweeter side? Like, but if you had to pick which of those two,
Right.
because they do, you know, and I don't think I'm picking any other subsets, but
The
I'm
answer to
just
that question
curious.
is
Because all three of you said sour, so I'm curious.
yes.
Okay.
So,
Kettle sours are really good. Yeah.
I take kettle.
So kettle sours,
So you do like the sweeter ones.
wild fruits, sours, or any sour. I think it's light, it's refreshing, it's got that pucker factor that you're looking for, and
Is that an official term? I think it might be.
We get better.
if not,
We're getting pointed right here.
So on a scale of 1 to pucker, 10 meaning your face is now imploding. How do you rate yourself?
I know people who don't like typical normal beer, like the yellow beer, the pilsners, the lagers, but they love sours because it's that different presentation. It's a sour. It's that like the pucker section, like Costa said. It's like Vigilant. They do a peanut butter and jelly sour.
If somebody could please get me a can of this. Everybody I see speaks about this
get
here.
it,
I can't get it.
Oh my god!
I don't go anywhere. Okay, I
Smart.
like this here, and I'm not resentful about that at all. I love it, but I just don't have a lot.
Or Smug does like
I
they
can
do
taste it.
that cranberry one, right? That what's it called?
seasoned and got sauce.
No, that wasn't cranberry, was it?
It was.
Oh, yes, it was. It was. Sorry.
That's right.
Sorry.
That was like a more super sour. It wasn't as sweet. But like, sour is just like, it's a whole different definition of beer. It changes like the palate completely.
I would say it's on the fringes, the outside of the norm of beer, versus like say like a Pilsner or a lager, like ale, what you would normally consider like your macro brews.
Right.
It's almost to the point where you're just barely in that range of beer, and I think they're fantastic. And fruit flavors. If anybody likes fruits, if anybody likes something that's sour, it's sweet. It hits so many different ends. Should I answer that question?
I know I'm going to, but I just have another interesting question that I think other people will think is interesting. Maybe not.
The tables have turned on us.
Okay, only just because it's interesting. All right, I just want to listen, diplomatically ask. Okay. No.
Completing.
What you don't have to say your exact age if you don't want to, but how old is everybody?
47.
44 right now.
Just like
32.
I'll be okay.
in the range.
45.
Yeah. All right. So we're all in the same generation, generally speaking. Now
we crave that sour.
we just had you, yeah. But like, all right. So you're talking, and you specifically were talking like regarding fruits, right? Okay. 2014, when we first started, if there was fruit in beer. If there was fruit in beer, okay, I'll just stop there. That's where I'm going to stop. That's where I'm going to stop. Now, I'm also coming at this from entering an industry, as a female. Now, never was like Island, our beer group, like our entrepreneurs and anybody in the industry. There is no misogyny. There is no thing. It is so comfortable and welcoming. I can't tell you how many of my colleagues have helped me out in jams. Like, it's no big deal. Like, they would do it for anybody. Like, it's not, that's what I am saying is, the big craft beer drinkers during that time. And as a result, anybody, I think generally, I'm not saying everybody, and there was none. But what I am saying is there was a certain, let's just call it, attitude towards beer with let's just say, I'm being very careful, be very diplomatic with my words. So if anybody is triggered or offended, please accept my apology now. I am not trying to trigger or offend anybody. I am simply pointing out that it is quite interesting.
But that's
3 people in this group 10 years later, and I listen to it, and I've been in this industry and more focused on these things than the average individual. So it's just something I find as an observation to be quite interesting. And I would say, I think other people would think it's interesting too. But also another interesting thing, that's why I asked your age, because 10 years ago, when we first opened, so in 2014,
when we were in our 30s.
Yeah, exactly. But to that point, I just thought about this the other day. 10 years ago, anybody who is 21 and legally able to drink right now, walk into my establishment and get a beer. What were they? 11? Or 10? They were 10? Because they'd be 21. That's 10. No, they'd be 11 because we're 10. Yeah, I don't do math. I use a calculator. I promise.
Shisha.
I do not. Yeah, no, shut up. I'm here all day. I'm fine. But isn't that interesting? So, like, I don't know. I thought about that. I'm like, how do you even relate to that age group? I don't even know. They were 10. I've been around for 10 years. Like, they don't know who I am. That's weird. They were 10. I don't know. Anyway, weird thought.
Right. How do you feel with styles and tastes have changed over the last decade?
Oh, there you go.
Well, I think you just exhibited perfectly how they have.
I personally have never been an IPA thing, single, double, triple, quad, anything along those lines. That's not me, but I am all about the sour trend. I'm all about the stouts, especially like wintertime, and you get your pumpkins, your maples.
Now, of course,
Good. I absolutely love.
So
So
I'm going to cut you off for a second. You said a key word there. You said trend. Do you think the sours are a trend? You think it's a trend, or you think it's going to long last?
I think that the sour, that you're say, I think it opens up the beer market to a different demographic, younger demographic, female demographic, people who are not looking for a pilsner, a lager, like a German style beer, and I think that it gives you more the fruit on your palate. It's pleasing, so I think that.
It's a gateway beer.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's a gateway.
Good term. That is not an official term.
Yeah, gateway.
Pucker
That's
factor,
it.
gateway beer. We're coming up with new trendy words. That's what we're doing here.
You know, I think about when I turned 21, or way before, and I don't drink underage. 21. I hated beer. Why? Because you had the same stuff coming out from every single place. It was your grandfather's beer. It was your grandfather's beer. It was old people drink. You know, you raised up in this like, no, you don't drink that. That's old people, you know. But then when the craft beers really started to come about, and you start hearing more. I mean, we have the Sam Adams, obviously, in this region. You know, that was the biggest one. It was a different flavor. It was a heavier, more distinct note. It was something that it was considered an acquired taste. And, you know, not everybody liked it. You had the watered down versions of what they called beer. It was slapped the label on it and just said beer.
But it was so it came with black letters on.
You know, so do you think nowadays,
Oh, I agree.
the younger generation, the sour could be their gateway beer? It's the one that they go to first because I think they can relate more to the taste. I mean, let's face it, you know, the Sour Patch Kid generation, right? Everybody grew up eating Sour Patch Kids. Oh, so we have a beer it's similar. It's sweet, it's sour, it's great. It's okay, we're going to drink this and maybe hopefully move on to something more complex.
Well, plus those kids are probably starting out drinking kombucha for like health reasons. Yeah. So there you go. There's a gateway to the sours. Now you can totally relate to the sour thing, right? So I think for sure they're here to stay too. I would agree with that. For sure. And it's as well they should.
I think some of the flavor combinations.
Yeah. And I think fruit has always been at home in a beer.
Right.
I mean,
if you look at something like a Link, that style of beer is, very ancient cold. It was based off of fruit and wild yeast. And how can you say that it's not a legitimate style of beer?
Exactly.
You know,
I agree.
it's been brewed for hundreds, if not thousands of years.
Yes. That was the original. I mean, and that's the other thing too, you know, that whole idea and that concept of how it originated, right? Way back. It's like, it wasn't commercialized. Yeah, or why should you always? I mean, you should follow some rules, but it's
So, like you said, yes, you got to follow some rules because otherwise, it's not going to turn out at all.
Follow the rules.
So
Yes,
you got to follow some of them, otherwise you're going to end up with something you did not expect.
So, in following the rules, like I gotta ask because I drink sours and you like, dude, that's not beer, or like I'll have like a stout and like it's so dark and it tastes like what's it taste like? I'm like it tastes like a chocolate peanut butter bar. Well, dude, that's not beer. Because people think beer, they think like you say,
it's your grandfather's beer.
It's your grandfather's beer. It's like I used to drink Buddy Lights and like Miller Lite, and then I graduated to Sam Adams, then I graduated to Ballast Point. And then a friend of mine took me to he's like, let me know when you're ready if you want a very good beer. This is like probably about a decade ago. We went to the old Tilted Barn where it was just a guy's barn and a guy's house. And this kid was selling Girl Scout cookies out front. You had to wait in line, and then 1 o'clock opens, and they start selling beer. And it was the most refreshing. I remember drinking the beer. It was the other half. I'm like, oh my god! It was just like a renaissance. Like, oh my god! It's like an awakening of great tasty, great beers. But there we went, Portland, we went the old Longlive, and we went to a Proclamation, the old Proclamation in North Kingston. It's like such a amazing journey, but what defines people will look at me and it's like, oh, that's sour, that's a fruity beer, that's not a beer, that's a girl's drink. What defines beer for you? Where's the boundaries for beer?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't know. I mean, I think they're always evolving. I don't know. That's my answer. I really do. And I think that's because society is going to dictate, the customer base is going to dictate. Really, at the end of the day, if you think about it logically, and very objectively, what are people purchasing and wanting to drink? And like, you know what I mean? Obviously, after I think the two biggest qualifying things that make beer, it's carbonated to some degree and not even a lot in casks, for example. That natural, carbonation that takes place, it sits in the cask and re-ferments a little bit. You pop that little bung in there and you serve off the cask and it's natural carbonation.
But it doesn't have to be yellow, right?
It doesn't, I don't know. Of course not, because stouts and porters, that's an old style. So I don't think, color, no.
It doesn't have to be clear. Your beer is unfiltered.
It wasn't originally. I mean, that is I feel like, it is.
Industrial thing.
It is, I think
it's a marketing thing. They wanted to, it's got to look pretty. And it's like, it's got to be, see through. And that's what they wanted. That's all we want. We want something that's just how it was made.
Mm-hmm.
You made it,
so it's
pour it, drink it. Where do you see the market going?
I don't know.
What do you think is in the future? What is ahead?
Well, I mean, sours have definitely gotten a lot of attention, so that has been something that's changed.
I love my sours.
Yeah, so I'm sure that'll continue. I don't even know what new thing anybody could come up with. I have no idea. Well, actually, hold on, wait. I mean, probably, especially when it comes to Rhode Island, at some point, I don't know when or if, probably not for quite a while, but at some point, you're going to have the, cannabis infusion. I don't know how you're going to really.
Somebody did that.
It's going to be a state regulation.
With no farms. It was
21 close to.
But those things are regulated completely different, like at the federal and state levels. And they're so highly regulated that I really don't know. Like, I cannot imagine knowing how Rhode Island is with changing and progressing and improving legislation, how slowly that happens and how much money it takes to do.
I was going to say the price point on that.
Because the Brewers Guild, we have been pushing for so much legislation change over the years, but we are funding that through beer fests. Please, everybody, if there's one beer fest that you go to in the entire course of your 365 days, please make sure it is the Ocean State Brewers Guild Festival. I mean, that is the...
Where is this located?
It's changed every year. A different Rhode Island brewery hosts it every year.
Right.
So this coming year, it's going to be at Providence Brewing. And I do have the dates in my calendar somewhere. I'll bring it up just at some point.
PBD Brewing on 6th Street.
Whoa. Wait, it's Providence Brewing. Wait, it's PBD. I'm so sorry. Is that what their logo says? I don't know. Providence Brewing with the Bulldog guy. That's their logo. Bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
The filming on it. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Please do not judge me.
We love you.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Oh, we get that.
The point is that is the Rhode Island only brew fest, right? So it's only exclusively Rhode Island breweries, which is a very special thing. Secondly, every single one of us is bringing something special to that one only.
So,
I mean, we're all bringing something exclusive, special, or we might be releasing sometimes, depending on like the time of the year. One year, when it was at Proclamation, I brought my pumpkin maple. I released it on the Saturday, but then the Brewfest was on Sunday. So it was still brand new, for the season. So anybody who came to the Brewfest got to taste it there for the first time. Like, stuff like that. It is very special.
Another incentive to make sure you get out and drink local.
Yes. And if you are a true Rhode Islander at heart and you're like, I live here and I'm never going to make it over there.
Drive more than 15
minutes. Go to the festival, then you can go to the one festival and get us all in one spot. And that's the only time of year you can do that.
Look at that. You don't have to go all over the state, which you should be.
And it will fund... It helps us fund the passport program that everybody has on their phones now. That app costs money to build and maintain. So these are, we are generating funds for craft beer in Rhode Island by going to that festival. So, and it always sells out because it's limited tickets. But because it's limited tickets, small lines, okay? Not like, listen, I'm not trying to say that I'm bashing any of the other festivals, okay? Just because I'm saying and highlighting what's great about ours does not automatically mean I'm saying something about anything else or whatever. It's your money, it's your decision. But what I am asking, I suppose, or proposing is to consider the best aspects about this festival in particular, because it does help promote craft beer in Rhode Island and Rhode Island business.
And they're all going to be special. They're all going to be specially for this event or whatever. So you're going to try things that you may not be able to try in the actual breweries. So it's a one in a lifetime experience. So why not?
Yeah, these to go.
Yep.
So on a completely different. You ready for this?
Okay.
Let's do a little segment called My First Beer. I remember my first beer. What was your first beer?
I was probably 8 years old, and it was a
It's low. Ah.
I was about 9. I was at the fishing in the Warnock, Kentucky River at the Greystone Social Club. They had just had an event the night before, and there was a warm Budweiser, Bud Heavy, if you will, sitting there on the ground. I picked it up. I made a couple friends that cracked it, drank it. It was like, oh, this is horrible. I'm never going to drink beer ever again. Here I
Well, do that. All right, so I'm going to throw my brother under the bus for this one because he managed to sneak home a Budweiser Red Dog. Remember Red Dog?
Yes.
am. I know, Red Dog.
Right? I don't know how he did it. He managed to sneak it home, gets it, hides it in the fridge somewhere, and next thing you know, we both have some of this, and at the time, again, got off. Hey, couldn't stand it, and look at me then. So, what was your...
I'm not confessing it.
I'll let it out there. We did things we weren't supposed to do when we were younger.
It might get back to 2020 between the match.
Hey, it'd be worth some money, probably. Memento, a souvenir, whatever, collectible.
What was your first beer?
Oh, definitely Bud Heavy, 100%. And I loved it. I mean, I loved it in that my grandfather, who is a fisherman, so when he came in, I mean, when he was fishing, when he was not fishing, but when he was in from fishing, he was my bestie. Okay, we were besties. He had this saying when he would hand me a beer, and he'd say, "Grampies are swell because they don't tell." And he cracked the can and he handed it to me.
That's awesome.
And we cheers and we would drink. And he would net. He did netting for the lobster traps. So he would be netting and drinking his beer for extra money when he wasn't fishing. So I would be out in his garage in his building, and I would be drinking beer and doing my coloring book while he's netting
Barry's fixing
for
lobster.
the lobster pots.
I'll tell you, if nothing says Rhode Island like that, there's nothing else out there. Okay?
So where you were really
Narragansett, yeah. So I grew up there, yeah. And my family still lives down there. But yeah, so it's fond memory. And that's what I always like beer for that reason.
fun memories.
Yes, absolutely. And that's so my whole family always drank too. My mom, when I was growing up, when I turned 21, because she always drank beer. So I always stole whatever was in the fridge too. She likes Coors Light to this day. God bless her. I mean, hey, a nice cold Coors Light if you're thirsty.
That's it.
Hell,
It's better than
It's like water.
I'm not saying, God, you know what I mean? All right. Yeah, certainly not a nasty, like in the middle of summer, side of the river bank, warm but heavy. But, a cold, ice cold Coors Light and you're really thirsty on a hot day. But anyway, so she and we had this whole thing because my mom's an awesome cook. So I would bring home a couple of mix of sixes because we lived in Narragansett and Wakefield Liquors was the place to get all your craft beer at the time. I mean, they have always had such an awesome craft beer selection even then. So like Sea Dog Blueberry, see one of my favorites, and that's still this. It's on the shelf for however long and it still tastes great. I don't know what's in it, but it's definitely very shelf stable. I know that. But like that, I put that in there, and then I just look at the labels and I pull. And every Friday, she would cook. I would bring the 6-pack, and we would live together. I lived with her. I was still, 21, living at home, of course.
It's all right.
But anyway, yeah, that was fun. So always beer. Plus, you don't get as loaded with beer.
Right.
I don't necessarily, I like to drink craft beer in general because you can drink more of it. And so you have more fun for a longer time before you pass out or, hugging the porcelain throne or whatever else,
I think at our age, it's more quality versus quantity.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And I'd rather spend my hard-earned money on something that's going to bring me pleasure and enjoyment versus going and buying a 30 rack of any kind of macro, brew, this year brings me enjoyment.
Thank you. I mean too.
It's so much better. Quality of the seats.
You are a sunshine a razor of spirits.
And as hard as this industry and this job and all of that is, the reward is well worth it. And when I say reward, I mean like this kind of stuff, but like chatting about beer. And I'm not even trying to be like cliche. I'm not. I'm really truly being so honest. It's like not even funny because, this is not an industry you get rich in. It's highly regulated.
Okay.
It's taxed like to the nines.
So now that makes me do a question. Is this your normal 9 to 5 job, or do you do something else?
Yes, it is now. Yeah. After the first year, actually. Since after the first year.
So you were all in.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. My husband and I. He was the one that said, I think.
So you and your husband are the ones that started this all.
Yep. Yeah. So we own it and we operate it with the help of our friends and family who are rewarded with beer.
Push. Wow. I know, right? I mean, I can put the beer. Why not?
It's a small operation. We do have limited hours, but
Have you thought about expanding your hours?
well, we did right before COVID.
Mm.
I mean, in the middle, that happened basically right in the middle of our tenure. And so it's crazy. That was wild. Owning a business, anybody who owned a business, any business during that time
Congratulations on surviving it.
and survived, yes, a lot did not. And, that's physically and, business wise, I'm just, yeah.
It hurt a lot of people.
It really did. And that's terrible because so many people put, and it's not just our industry, but like a lot of industries, they put everything, their whole life, their life savings, maybe even the savings of their children's college funds and stuff like that to try to survive. And if they still couldn't, and they had nothing to show for it. I mean, they have memories, sure, but aren't those memories going to be so gut wrenching because you think about I don't know. I just think how I might be if I were in that position. I try anyway. And it really is a lot. It brings a lot of perspective. So if I didn't already feel like the reward was truly and honestly like being with the people talking about my art, it's never been lost on me. But after COVID, it did take on a new meaning, if I could put it that way.
So swing this on a less depressing.
I know. I don't know. Hey.
Everybody. We're talking about this the dark side.
Yeah, I know. Situational. The first 10 years.
So swing it on the other side now. What would be the craziest beer to take up to trap brew? Like your pie in the sky. Like I don't care if anybody's going to drink this. I think I could try this.
But yeah,
Put on the spot, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't even know. I mean, when I think of something, I just brew it. So I don't know if there's anything crazy that I haven't ever brewed that. Well, I mean, all different.
You know what you're going.
Yeah, it just depends. It depends.
Shipping your cool.
Yeah, it depends on the beers. I don't know. Some stuff is more meant to be of a crowd pleaser. Some things are inspired by personal experiences. And so it's like a mixture. So if I'm ever inspired by something, I guess I don't know, something crazy that I don't think people would like. I don't know of one. I hope that everything I think of that people will like.
What is your favorite beer that you did? If you had one and you drank it yourself, which would it be?
I mean, I definitely have a contender for the top 2 of my personal favorites.
What's the top 3?
Top 3? All right. Top 3 of my own. Strawberry blonde.
And red, white, and blue. Is that what we're doing?
No, go ahead. You want to tell me what they are? No, I'm just kidding. I'm teasing. I'm just all right. I'm sorry.
All right, number 2.
I joke. No. Don't listen to me. I know, but that will be on the 4th of July. This coconut hef, which is relatively new. I only started brewing it last year, but I love it so much. And I would say the pumpkin maple ale.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, because I am such a pumpkin. Insert whatever adjective you would like. I would choose explicit language if I could to explain and express my love of all things pumpkin.
So we are censored here on 3D.
Oh, are we?
Pumpkins. You brought up a great point.
Point of
I
contention, baby.
love to talk pumpkins.
He's even organizing
Because I'm like anticipating.
you have some
Yeah.
So pumpkins, people love to hate. And now part of that I think is marketing because now we're getting pumpkins in like June. Am I wearing gloves? I am not wearing gloves. No gloves here. Now
It's an unfreeze.
I think the big box folks are to blame for this because now we've got pumpkins in like June. For the love of God, save pumpkins for the falls. With that being said, I have not yet had your pumpkin.
What?
So,
How's that even possible?
Edward.
So, I will hang my head. I'm sorry.
Hang your head.
No, don't. No.
But I'm looking forward to the following fall and coming back for pumpkin. It's about, do you drink pumpkin juice?
Why not?
Yeah, you gotta be honest. Don't
Honest
don't
about
like
things.
censor it just because
No.
I'm here. If you hate them, just say it.
I am not a big pumpkin fan, but certain ones are, I hate to use the term acceptable, but certain ones are palatable.
Why do you dislike it though?
As he sits on his throne.
I know.
No, I'm kidding, I'm
Looking
kidding,
down
I'm
at us
kidding, I'm
pumpkin
kidding.
lovers.
I'm kidding.
Why do you dislike this?
I just, the flavor of it, it's the whole squash. I'm just not a big
Oh.
No squash on Thanksgiving. No butternut squash. No pumpkin
Well, as
pie.
I've gotten older, my tastes have changed, so I will definitely do like a butternut squash. I love pumpkin spice. Maybe it's just the I'm gonna say stigma of it, but just the I don't know. Yeah,
I'm seeing shaving off them. I'm seeing some heavy shaving of the head.
We go to this
So,
guy.
buddy.
your strawberry shortcake.
Oh, you like the
Hold
short
on, what's
cake?
wrong with
Yeah,
pumpkin?
I know.
Hold on.
I know. He's trying to divert.
Trying to
Diversion.
reduce
it. Hold on.
It's like diversion tactic.
No.
Let's talk about strawberry. So no,
We're talking about pumpkin sauces.
Buddy,
I love pumpkin beer. I love your pumpkin maple. I love, like, Oktoberfest comes out in August. Give it to me. I love Pumpkinhead. Was that Tip Yacht? I love that. Pumpkinhead. Tip Yacht. Taproom, which we're going to in July. They have a pumpkin, what is it? It's like 14% alcohol by volume. It knocks me on my ass. It's pumpkin. Holy shit, pumpkin. I love
see the wheels are off, folks.
pumpkin really hits. Like, there's so many different great pumpkin beers.
and I've come to accept pumpkin. I think that what was on the market at the very beginning was not very good pumpkin beer, and I think that's what spoiled it. But when you come across something that's fantastic, right? So like you're looking at like a macro brew, and then you try an ale or a lager, and then you try something else's. You're like, this is actually what it's supposed to be like. Like, holy smokes, this is fantastic. And then you're like, what have I been doing with my life?
Right.
So if I pour you a pumpkin right now, you're gonna drink it?
Absolutely.
Oh my
Well,
god.
hold on. I have an even better challenge. What you guys need to do this fall. Okay, you need to have blind taste tests and get a bunch of different pumpkin beers and have a blind taste test and see.
You ready here first, folks?
I think
Make
that'd
it
be
happen.
fun.
Tilted
Where
has
you
Jack.
actually?
You do that.
Yeah, there's plenty of pumpkin beers. That's another thing. And that's another thing.
I'm a blueberry guy. So do we give me blueberries?
I
Downey's.
give you blueberries.
Downey's has a.
We still got it to the
Downey's.
I understand you brew it. Now,
Mhm.
do you like them though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want pumpkin at 365 days a year. I like it in my lotion, in my beer, in my food, in my candles,
Right.
in every single aspect of my life. I love it.
Have you thought of brewing an off-season pumpkin?
Ooh, no.
No.
I haven't because all right, hold on.
Business,
No,
right?
if that's it. Yes. No. Yes, no. I know. Okay. So there's the answer to your question. The craziest thing that I can think of that I could brew that maybe nobody else would like. Circling back to that question, there would be a pumpkin off season because I would like it. And it is wild and crazy.
It is.
So it qualifies your question. So there's my question. No questions left unanswered right here. Total, full candid, honesty, and open.
So what is your least favorite beer?
Well,
Do you have one? You don't have to throw anybody under the bus.
I am trying still to
Or a particular style.
acquire taste. There's a couple. I'm never going to say no to one. But I am working on acquiring a taste for Rausch beers.
I think
Yeah.
I don't think I'm even familiar with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. Well,
Just
you don't
like
have to
Rausch
sound like a nerd.
No. Describe Rausch beer for me.
I don't
What's
know exact, but it's very smoky. And it's German.
Okay.
I mean, I know I've researched it, but like I can't. I don't know anybody does them locally. I don't, and they may, but I don't know offhand that anybody does. I don't know that it's a very popular style. It's very acquired.
So.
I also can't, I think it might be I think it might be a lager, but it's a dark lager, a smoky dark lager. It's dark and it's very smoky. That's what I know.
Do you smart folks? Smoky Rausch. Rausch.
I sound very technical and educated. I swear.
Well, this is your business. I hope so.
And I'm already drinking, and
So you got to catch up to me.
no, I bet.
Right. The Red Bull's waiting.
The customers are gonna love me at 1
They are
o'clock.
gonna love you.
I'm gonna be right at 1 today instead of getting there at 1:45.
Yeah, embrace the bitter trend of beers. I've had some friends that have had some bitters, and I find it, and oh my god, it's beyond. It's me in the back of the eyeball. It's just not
Like what though? What do you mean? What
like
bitter?
bitter. We go no, not sour. It's a bitter.
Sour is good. Bitter.
Bitter. It's like I think who does one? It's a brown can. I want to say it's Proclamation or Treehouse. It's a brown can. Old Man and the something. It's just terrible. It's just like it's bitter. Like
No
sour.
disrespect intended.
No disrespect intended. Just
No,
you know,
that's just how it is. Not everybody's gonna like every
like a super sour, like a super sour patch kid. Like more than sour. Just like oh god. And
I might like that.
you might like that. Yeah, I'm just thought. Oh, I keep getting better and as older.
That's funny.
That's all right. Okay, well, I guess we'll stick on the topic of least favorites. So,
Yeah.
Costas, go ahead.
Citra. Yeah, I know that the entire craft world and craft industry loves Citra, but to me, no disrespect intended, like you said, it tastes like licking pine tree air freshener.
Have you done it often?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
From experience, he knows.
After that,
What's his that sound?
After that stuff.
my mattress in box spring, yeah, and that 120, yeah, with and not good. There are certain types of there's certain style or types of hops that Galaxy Mosaic I love. I have no problem with them. It's just that the old double, triple,
Or
Quadruple a bit
Yeah.
much.
IPAs, I just could never get into that style. And it's just not for me.
And that's your favorite.
And that's
Yeah,
just,
that's one of my favorites.
and that's what brings us together. is that
Exactly.
different palettes. We have different styles that we like, so what she loves, I don't. And what I like, she may not.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the whole range, the broad spectrum of beer and brewing in general that brings us all together. Because not everything is for everyone, but there's always something for everybody.
And that's just it. I mean, so again, back to me. I'm not a big IPA guy. Partly because for the love of God, not every beer has to be an IPA, guys. You brewing beers, I love you. You don't need to make every single one of an IPA. Please, there are other varieties.
So when IPA, good. I can get down with it.
So, and that's just it. It goes back to the same thing. It's not that I completely dislike an IPA. If I'm hand me an IPA, I'm going to drink it. Why? Because it's beer you just put it in front of me and I'm going to drink it. But in the same breath, you start getting to those dipple, the dippers, the trippers, and stuff like that. And it's like, again, like Costa said, I don't want to be licking a pine tree. Okay. But for some people love it. And that's they like the bitter. They like the pine note. They like that. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. Me, I'm okay with it. I'll have one. Again, there are certain hops that I do like, and it's not that I dislike hops, but certain ones are just too overpowering, and that's the only note you seem to get out of the beer. Is that you just get that strong pine resin.
It's a punch in the face.
Exactly. Now, again, it's not for me. Some folks love it. Great. Good on you. Keep making them because we got to make the different styles, but for the love of God, not everyone needs to be a making it.
The triple lurk can be a little much though in the quads. It was done by proclamation in Long Lake. It was a black kid, had a skeleton hair, like going down like this. And it was, I forget the name of it, it was so strong. Just so like, oh my God, regular case was a bit much to me. That, and there's a certain, I don't know if it's the hop that they use or it's a point, but West Coast style IPAs has a certain flavor to a lot of them. And it just hit me, yeah, it's like immediate like battery acid in my chest. It's like, oh my God, that's a little bit too much.
So we've been going, I think, more than long enough now. We've had some great conversations, some great topics come up, some great discussion, good beers as always. So Nicole, why don't you tell us a little bit of what you got on tap now, what you got coming, and let everybody know that hours they can come and enjoy a beer.
Yes, absolutely. So we are coming up very soon, as you guys already mentioned, about the red, white, and blue. Because we're at the end of April now. So May, we release our Strawberry Blonde, and then all of a sudden we're into June. June always flies. So red, white, and blue for us means Strawberry Blonde, Blueberry American Wheat, and the White Stout. So we always have that in time for 4th. But
if you haven't done it, you need to
do it.
Because I really am. I'm very, very proud of our Blueberry American Wheat. I think the style, the base beer is perfect for the blueberry. It's delicious. I really am. I love our blueberry as well. And our Strawberry Blonde, as you guys know, it's one of my favorites.
Insert patriotic music right.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. We had to do that just in case we get that soundbite, right? But yeah, so we have the red, white, and blues coming up. We have just coming up for next weekend, we have our Mexican hot chocolate.
Ooh.
So I brew that once a year. Yes, exactly.
You're making a face, Joe. It's a good beer, dude. I'm telling you.
It's kind of like, I understand, truly. All right, see, that's the thing. Everybody has their own ideas. But I always say, if somebody comes in and they're very hesitant, I'm like, listen, if you hate everything, I'm not going to make you pay for the tasting. But just taste it. Just do yourself and me a favor, please. You might surprise yourself. So I challenge you to sing the Kalen Man and you at home. I was pointing in that direction. I had to be like, both of you. Anyway, that one it's a little spicy with cinnamon, chocolate, lactose to give it a little extra sweetness. But that one's coming up. And we have all of our favorites too. Oatmeal raisin, Neapolitan brown ale is always on.
Have you ever had a beer that tastes like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry ice cream? If not, you need to come here.
Come here, right here. Come here, do it. Now, you talk about we talked about breweries that aren't no more. You tell us a little bit before the show. You might have something in your fridge.
Oh yes, I do.
Represents
I have to go grab it.
You just no more.
Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab it. Well, this is the point, guys, right? Because you said you can
And welcome back. We had to take a short break, so Nicole could come and grab something special for us. Why don't you tell us what it is?
So, I was lucky enough to have a couple of my good friends, Amy and Jared. They took one last trip up to a Vermont brewery called Hermit Thrush, well known for their sours, that is no longer in operation. They have suddenly and sadly closed their doors. Nobody really knows, what happened. We're very thankful to be able to take one of the final sips of this beer that will ever be had. And I've not tried it yet. So I guess we're all going to try it for the first time and kind of just do a little. It's extremely heartbreaking, as we were discussing before. Some people during COVID lost their businesses. Whenever any business, is no longer, it's cringe and my heart breaks because I know what goes into mine and what went into mine to build. And if something were to happen where it would be no longer, I know how I would be. So I am, I really truly feel for anybody who
It's an emotional journey.
isn't here. So it is very emotional. And I would like to just, share with everybody as much as possible to at least so we know their legacy will always continue.
Yeah, but
Stuff's so good.
And
very much.
it's a sour, which all three of you love.
It is a fruited.
Very nice.
What is it again? It's a fruit
Yeah.
wild ale sour.
Wild yeast, fruity wild ale. Oh,
So this is no kettle sour.
It
This is
Sour.
not your favorite
oh.
type that I asked you guys about earlier, but it is a true wild yeast that creates that sour flavor.
Oh, and it's so good.
Thanks. Do you think this will be the last time?
Oh,
It's a sad thing, but in the same breath, hopefully we got others out there that'll celebrate it. Hopefully bring it back in their own way.
When one door closes, another door opens.
Exactly.
Right.
So
well, they may have paved the way, They may have inspired. This is something, I don't know if you guys knew that, but the only thing they brewed was sours.
Totally.
So can you imagine, you have a business model where the only thing you brew is sours? And for three people who love sours, I'm surprised you guys haven't traversed the earth to find your way there. I had heard about them because a lot of people that love sours always speak about them because again, that's just actually they had a really cool marketing line on their shirts because they were like that. Do you have anything except sours or whatever? And it said that's all we brew. I may be hacking that up, but I mean it was a very cool angle and I liked it. And I may be totally hacking it, but hopefully the spirit of what I'm trying to express is at least delivered if what I'm trying to say, which is just that, this place did nothing but sours. And sours are on popularity rise. So anybody who would speculate that they closed just because that's all they did may or may not be true, actually.
because they are
We all just sat here. It's in all your top threes.
That's it.
So it might not be the reason. Who knows? I don't know.
Sure.
It's just sad that any business has to close. I mean, that's their livelihood and their passion.
It's a dream. Like the question of how many licks does it take to get to the center of Tootsie Pop, we may never know. So, but on that note, we're not going to try and end on a completely sour note. See what I did there? We want to thank you for your time. The guest and Nicole at Crooked Current. We're at 560 Mineral Spring Ave in North Providence. If you haven't been out here yet, shame on you. Get on out here. Again, I'm Ed.
Nicole.
Buddy.
Cautious. We are Three Dudes Brews. Cheers, time. Cheers.
Cheers.
Drink local, folks.
Find us at I've been down by the river podcast. I've been down by the river podcast.com for all of our other podcast opportunities.
Until next time.
Drink local.
How do you guys look this out real quick? Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you.
That was fun.